average, we unlock our mobile phones between 80 and 110 times a day. Wait, that can't be possible, all right? I guess there's some people that really never leave their phones alone. Wait, the stat's broken down. So, given a 12-hour day of usage, okay, by the time you've slept, that's about right. That means iPhone users check their phones between 6 or 7 times an hour, or about once every 10 minutes. Ooh, that actually sounds believable now, doesn't it?
We are constantly talking about screen time for our children. If you Google it, you'll come up with so many studies and videos and articles all about screen time for our children. How much screen time is okay, especially in the first 2 years? What impact does it have on our little one's development? Are we a bad parent if we allow our children to watch screens? And they're all really important questions that I know I've looked into too. But whilst I was researching this video and trying to make an informed opinion, it got me thinking about another very important and slightly less reported question, which is, how does our screen time as a parent affect our children? Later on in this video, I'm going to take a look at my phone, which is just one of my many screens, and take a look at my screen time for last week. I took a super quick look before I started filming, and I'm already a little bit nervous, but I'm going to do it anyway. So for those of you that want to join me on the journey, feel free to check out your screen time as well and drop me a little comment below. Before we delve any deeper, here's why I think we need to not take too much of the blame on our shoulders for our obsession with these things, but I do think we need to be more conscious of it. I don't know if any of you have ever seen an amazing program on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. If you haven't, I definitely recommend that you check it out. And basically what they talk about in this program is how your online presence allows a sort of avatar to be created of you, your likes, your dislikes. So for example, if I haven't been on a certain app like Instagram, they might send me a notification of somebody they know that I typically show a lot of interest in to say, hey, this person has just posted. So what's going to happen? I'll pick up my phone again. And of course, I start off with that message and then go down the rabbit hole of all of the other really interesting things that are designed to catch my attention, and specifically using my psychology to do so. And so all of a sudden, those 5 minutes that you were going to go and spend building a Lego tower with your child have been spent looking at your phone. To be fair, I think you can make an argument about the physical and mental health implications of spending too much time as an adult on a screen. But more specifically, what I've started to research is how our screen time affects your children. That's the key thing here. So how does it do that? Well, firstly, scientists have shown just how important the first 5 years from conception onwards is for a young child. This is the time where they are creating new neurons and pathways in the brain and learning from all of their experience. Their brain is growing at an absolutely tremendous rate that it will never do again in their lives. Studies have shown that parents and carers are the most interesting thing in the world to your little people at that time. They can specifically pick out your face in amongst other faces, and they are learning by observing and copying you. So spending time with your little one, playing copycat games, mimicking games, peekaboo, all that sort of thing is absolutely crucial to your little one's healthy development. And so in turn, if you take away that interaction, i.e. by looking down at your phone, then you are taking away that development and learning opportunity from your little one. And that's the physical developmental side of things. But how about the emotional side of things? Well, again, you are the most important person in your baby's life. And so when they feel your attention, feel your love, feel your care, in turn, they feel loved, secure and safe. I've popped a link to a video in the description below. It's an excellent TED Talk by a 7-year-old, no less, talking about this very topic. And one of the things that she says, and let me get this right, is that babies are hardwired to seek out meaningful connections. And so not receiving these meaningful connections can cause stress and confusion. And of course, the longer that goes on for, the more permanent that message is to that baby's brain that they're not important and that they haven't got your attention. I mean, we've all been there, right? We've all been sitting at a dinner table with someone at some point and they're sneakily doing the looking at you while sneaking a glance down. Doesn't feel great, does it, to feel that actually what they're looking at in their phone is more important than what you're saying? Now imagine that's the message that your child is receiving from you. Doesn't feel great, does it? Lastly, well, monkey see, monkey do, right? If your little ones are learning subconsciously that your phone or your screen is the most important thing in the world to you, well, when they're older and have access to choose their screen time, don't be surprised if you find yourself over dinner with a teenager who you're shouting at to get off their phone. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to take a look at my screen time whilst I'm live on this video. Put it into context, I'm obviously on my computer and filming most of the day, so my phone really is what I'm using in the morning and the evening, i.e. when my kids are around. And here's my horrible parental confession, again, so you know that this video is nothing to do with judgment, just opening the conversation. I start every morning, so my husband gets up with my kids. He tends to wake up a little bit happier and more energetic. So he gets up with my kids, goes to get them a drink and breakfast and whatever, and I lay in bed for about 10 to 15 minutes scrolling on this thing. Yeah. Now, some of you are probably thinking, hey, 10, 15 minutes on your phone whilst you're waking up in the morning, that's really not a big deal. But when you think about it, that I'm scrolling, looking through absolute nonsense, and I could be spending that 10 or 15 minutes with my children before they go off to school, doesn't sound so good. It's certainly something for me to think about. And the true irony, often I'm looking at Instagram and inspirational quotes about how to be a good parent. Okay, so let's take a look. Actually, wait a second. Okay, so that's a bit more comfortable. Let's take a little look. Okay, so what do I want to look at? Screen time. In case you don't know, you want to go into your settings and screen time. So last week's average was 1 hour, 41 minutes a day. Now, again, maybe on the face of things, that doesn't sound too bad, but that is 1 hour, 41 minutes purely on my mobile. My total screen time, now this I think is scarier, 11 hours and 52 minutes across the week. So that is 6 hours and 49 minutes spent on social. Wow, the others are creativity, productivity, and finance. I'm not quite sure what each one counts as. Now, if I show categories, here are my top 3 where I have spent time. WhatsApp, Instagram, and photos. So, well, I don't know about you guys, but as a parent, I really sometimes feel like WhatsApp is taking over my life. I now call it my WhatsApp. Did I just say WhatsApp? I was always laughing at my parents for that. My WhatsApp admin has become a very, very real thing. So seeing that in black and white, that's where I've spent nearly 5 hours of my life last week responding to WhatsApp messages or looking at WhatsApp messages. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Oh my goodness, total pickups, 647. Does that mean I have picked up and turned on my phone, engaged with my phone 647 times? And according to this, on Sunday, which would make sense, a day that I'm not working, so more with my phone, I picked it up 134 times. And that's the day I'm with my kids. Okay, I'm going to spend a bit more time analysing all of this, but to be honest, for me, it just highlights what I already knew. I need to try and stop the mindless picking up of the phone, the mindless opening of things like WhatsApp just to see what's there, especially when my kids are around, because I have to think that there is times where I went to go on my phone for a couple of minutes and in actual fact, I spent another 5 minutes and they probably saw me doing that. Okay, so I am going to set myself a couple of challenges and I will drop a comment on the video below in 1 month's time to update everyone how I've been getting on. If anyone would like to join me, please do. So here's the couple of things that I'm going to aim to do. I am going to try and halve the amount of time every day I spend on my phone, and I'm going to try and halve the amount of times I actually
unlock my phone. It's not turning my phone on, it's unlocking my phone. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. The second thing, I have had an alarm clock in my room for a while that I have not yet connected. I am going to connect it so that I can leave my phone outside of my bedroom at night and in the mornings, therefore hopefully getting rid of the 10 minutes in the morning where I mindlessly scroll. And I'm hoping if I do that for a month that it will just become a thing that I don't even want to anymore, because I feel a physical itch in the morning before I've checked my messages, which is just madness. It can wait till I sit down to get to work when the kids are already at school and nursery. So those are my aims. If you want to join me, please drop a comment below where you're at now, where you aim to be. Has this given you food for thought? Let me know what you think.